Hello everyone, so today I will be talking about the development for 18 to 24 months. I will specifically be covering typical speech development and motor and cognitive milestones. So to start off, we're going to discuss speech development. And I really want to stress the importance of schemas. Schemas allows children to become knowledgeable of the world around them. This is first discovered when they are exposed to or introduced to an event or an object. And this plays a part in speech because, according to research findings, in order for a child to produce speech, it relies heavily on linked representations. So, this allows them to eventually become aware of recognizable words. So, they have to be exposed to it to a lot of times in order for them to get a mental representation or image of what it is. Here we have what they should be producing, and I put it in order from the earliest to the latest. And from the earliest we have advanced forms. And what advanced form is we have consonants clutters, for example, tree. We also have jargon, which is definitely not true words, but it's basically like nonsense words or gibberish. And then we have multisyllabic productions. And research findings show that around this age, a child's vocabulary expands tremendously to about 50 words. So as a result in this, there is a developmental shift away from these forms and proto-words, also called phonetically constrained forms. And what those are stable vocalizations of a reference to an object, event, or a situation. Around this age, children will be producing stops, nasals, and glides. They will be producing consonant and vowel structures and recognizable words. So children will be producing several single words, and this could be no, cup, milk, more. I really want to remind you that at 18 months, children are only 25% intelligible. So that explains why around the times where they are producing advanced form, most of it is not true words. And then by age 2, they are 50% intelligible. So they will be producing 2-word combinations. So for example, I run or me run to indicate they ran. I also want to point out that at this age, by 2, they should be producing words and final consonants. So here, the next slide, I have a video of a little girl talking, and she is 18 months, and we're going to basically talk about what all she was producing and did we notice anything in her development of speech. So at this age, she produced many recognizable words. Words that she produced were look, red, yellow, and duck. And then she said many 2-word combinations. So she said pink bow, kitty cat, address, and what happened. I really want to remind you that although most of what she was saying was not intelligible, you were able to make out most of what she was saying. I really want to point out an example of schema, and that was when she said have more water or a sip, because she may not know what a cup is, but she knows that she can drink out of a cup, and that when she drinks out of a cup, she sips the cup. Motor and cognitive milestones. So at 18 to 24 months, toddlers should be walking alone. They should be pulling toys while they're walking. They should be helping undress themselves. They should be drinking out of a cup like the girl in the first video. And then they should be able to name items in picture books, sort colors and shapes, and build towers of 4 or more blocks. And I really want to stress the sorting towers and shapes, because around this age, this is when they're starting to exhibit working memory. And around this age, they are limited to their ability to perform certain tasks. So they can sort colors because of their working memory. And they're able to name items and pictures based on schemas, being exposed to it multiple times to get a mental image of what an object or that picture is. And then they hold memory in their sensory and short-term memory for a limited amount of time. At this age, they're limited to automatic responses. They're not able to do that yet. And I really want to stress that they have not learned to remain focused on an activity for a certain amount of time. And that is because around this age, they are very independent and they're really busy. So there is only a certain amount of information that can be stored, and in the duration of the delay between stimulus and the response that cannot exceed the child's short-term working memory. So it's only but so much that a child can remember in their working memory or short-term memory. And at 2 years old, they have not reached the ability to work on general executive function, and that is because this only occurs and grows at the age of 3, between 3 and 6. And that is because at 2 years old, there is a slow development in the prefrontal cortex. So one of the things that a 18-month and 24-month can do is follow simple directions, and that is because there is limited linguistic complexity in what they can do. So based on research, there was findings that children with severe speech sound disorders had the difficulty with oral motor imitation. However, because they had difficulty with oral motor imitation, that didn't necessarily mean that they were classified as child apraxia of speech. However, based on those findings, they had poor fine motor skills. And when it comes to children with childhood apraxia of speech and inconsistent speech orders, there is fine motor deficits in timed tasks. So here are some books that I would recommend for ages 18 to 24 months. So we have one of my favorites, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom by Billy Martin Jr. And this is really good to expose toddlers to alphabet knowledge. And then we have Hop on Pop. This has many recognizable words that they can catch on to and they are exposed to. And then we have Kitten's First Full Moon by Kevin Henkes. I really want to thank y'all for listening, and I hope that I was able to inform you about the development of 18 to 24-month-olds.